Have you ever thought how much an ambulance ride could cost you? How about an air ambulance ride if you have to be medevaced out? Well, as you can imagine, it is more expensive than you would expect. So how does Medicare cover an ambulance or an air ambulance ride? Again, it always depends on the type of insurance you have. If you only have government Medicare A and B, you need to talk if you do, but if you do, then you would pay 20% of the cost of the ambulance ride or the air ambulance. Let's start with a helicopter. Average cost, $20,000 to $80,000. Again, it could vary based on how far you have to fly. So people in Alaska, they're well acquainted with how expensive it is. People that live in rural parts of the mountainous parts of North Carolina, I know a lot of them have subscriptions to air ambulance services because there's no way to get to a doctor quickly in the hill country. They know that it could be $20,000 to $80,000. You only have to pay 20% of that, which is why people buy subscriptions to get that cost down. Now, if you have a Medicare supplement, Plan G, and you've already met your deductible for the year, then you would pay $0 for your ambulance. The air ambulance is going to be different because it needs to be in the network, and none of them accept Medicare. So an air ambulance, even with a Medicare supplement, could still cost you some money. Let's talk about private Medicare, Medicare Advantage. This is where you see the articles in the news and where 60 Minutes talks about it, because with Medicare Advantage, you're almost always on every plan, again, a generalization, but in general, almost every plan in the country, you would pay 20% copay. Again, that's in network. No air ambulance is in the network, so it's going to be out of network. So you better be careful if you're on an HMO with no out of network benefits. If you are, you'll be paying the full cost to be medevaced from your car crash on the highway to the nearest trauma center. Okay, it's gonna be a lot of money, in other words. Now, can the ambulance take you to the hospital that's your preferred hospital of choice? And I get this question several times a year. My mom had a heart attack. She was on the gurney. She said, "Don't take me to St. John's. I want to go to Methodist." They don't do that. They're going to take you by contract to the closest hospital. Now, sometimes if you're being transported, you can say, "I'll pay cash, take me there." But you're going to have to sign before they transport you. They're getting out the clipboard and you're taking financial responsibility to pay to go to a different hospital. And some people have a very strong opinion that if I go to this hospital, I'm going to die. And if I go to this hospital, I'm going to live. So be prepared. If you don't have the money, you're going wherever they take you, whatever's closest. It's the same with the VA. The VA will pay for you to get an ambulance, but it's going to take you to the closest hospital. And the VA will not pay when you say, "I reject that hospital." So let's go back to a regular ambulance that we know about. A lot of these are private network. They're not through the hospital, they're privately owned. And they could be in or out of the network, which could drive the cost up. But in general, a cost of an ambulance ride, probably looking at $1,000. I recently saw in New York City, it was about $1,500. So, it's high and it's going up, but nothing ever goes down in the healthcare world. So this ride might be 10 minutes. It might not be very long. So more and more people do not want to call an ambulance. They don't understand how their insurance works. And they definitely don't want to incur an ambulance to go 10 minutes. So they try to call Uber. So Uber has had a problem with these people getting in the car with their limbs mangled and their leg all bloody, and they don't want to transport. That's something they're gripping with. They don't want to transport emergencies. So if you can sneak it in there that it's not obvious, then you could probably still get away with an Uber and, pay $20 versus $1,000. When my mother-in-law fell and broke her hip at 91 years old, she refused to call an ambulance. We live a mile from the hospital. She refused to call an ambulance. She made my daughter manhandle her into the car and my daughter drive her to the ER, which was very traumatic for my daughter. My daughter was 30, but still, to see her in that much pain and refusing an ambulance who would be better suited to transport an elderly, frail person. But by God, she was not going to spend the money. Now, her insurance would have paid for it. She just didn't understand how insurance worked. So maybe give yourself or your parents or your grandparents peace of mind and look into how your plan would pay for an ambulance so these stubborn people, maybe it's you that are the stubborn person, can see, oh, I don't have to pay for it. Okay, I'll let them take me. Sometimes we're still not going to call an ambulance because of the vanity. We don't want to be transported by ambulance. Again, I shouldn't call out my mom. I'm calling her out. My mom thought she was having a heart attack. She refused to let my dad call the ambulance because she didn't want the neighbors to see the ambulance. So she made him drive her. Now, it wasn't a heart attack. It was acid reflux, which common. A lot of people, we have acid reflux and it presents the same. The left arm, we think we're having a heart attack. But she could have been really having a heart attack and she refused an ambulance out of vanity. A lot of people do that. They don't want their neighbors knowing their business. So that has nothing to do with money. That's something you got to deal with on your own, with your own stubborn parents and your own stubborn self, right? But an ambulance is expensive. Your insurance might cover some or all of it. Typically, you're going to pay 20% of the cost. If you want to go to a different hospital, you have to pay that additional cost. They'll pay whatever it would have cost to go to the nearest facility. You have to pay the difference to go to the further one. And that could often save your life if the further one is the known trauma center or the best specialist in so-and-so. If it is an air ambulance, it's almost always going to cost you a lot of money because they're almost always out of network. How much it costs you will depend on the type of insurance. If you have Medicare Advantage, you will almost always pay 20% of that. 20% of $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, $70,000 is still a lot of money. You'll be much less risk if you have a Medicare supplement, but that kind of goes with everything. So if you have more questions about ambulance transportation, about how your insurance policy works, if you're getting ready to go on Medicare for the first time and you'd like our guidance and experience, our help is free. Go to the MedicareFamily.com. There's a little yellow box at the top of the page to book your own appointment. We're licensed in all 50 states. Our help is free because we're paid as independent contractors by dozens and dozens and dozens of insurance companies. We can explain what you have, what your other options are, and help guide you for the rest of your life on this crazy maze called Medicare. Thanks for watching. Please give me a follow if you learned something today. If you like this video, you might really like this video. Check it out. And we'd appreciate if you subscribe to our channel so you never miss a great video. We put out one every week. Check in the description below this video for a link to our cheat sheet on Social Security and Medicare. And you can also give us a comment if you have a specific question. Always feel free to call us or email us at the Medicare Family.